Oh, so we meet again. My name is Kara, as you know, and I really like rom-coms.
Long time no see. My name's Jaren, and I like eating after midnight.
Very well. The both of us, however, share an affinity for the natural charm of being poor, which is why we must duel.
Let this be our last encounter, and this is...
Just kiss already! Hey y'all, come to the music room after third period if you want an ass kicking. Because this episode, it's fight time!
Yeah, like straight out the gate, we don't even get like a last time on High School Host Club. It's just this middle schooler.
This small boy.
With glasses even, shows up.
Right, glasses? Come
and he's
on.
like, I demand the ass of Honey.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And Honey's just doing his own thing, and he gets like straight up sneak attacked.
Yeah.
And Honey's like, not in my house.
Surprise, everyone. It's the sibling rivalry episode.
Yeah! It's weird that we didn't get one of these kind of sooner, but like, it's interesting discovering that like most of these people except for Tamaki do have family members.
Yeah, right?
And
They're
all
not
go to
all
the
just
same
like,
school.
they don't just exist by themselves.
Oh yeah. The only one that's in a vacuum is Swo.
Is who?
Swo.
Oh. Well, Haruhi doesn't have a sibling.
Oh, you're right.
She too is an only child.
For some reason, I thought Haruhi had a sister.
Oh,
but I might
really?
be thinking of Fruits Basket.
Okay, yeah.
I feel like they're related.
Wait, what sister in Fruits Basket?
No, what's
are
the
you
name
thinking
of the main character from Fruits Basket? Laura
Toru?
Bailey? Toru. So I
Who
feel like
doesn't have a sibling?
I felt like in my brain Toru and Haruhi were sisters.
Oh, I see. I see. I can see it.
Oh yeah.
It'd be a very funny polar opposites. But no, this time the siblings are Honey and his younger brother Chika.
Yeah.
Which is such a cute name.
It's very cute. I like that we continue the trend of like Honey and Chika.
Honey and Chika. Do you have any like cool sibling rivalry? Do you have a sibling who you are destined to fight one day?
I feel like we might have missed our destined today encounter.
Really? Oh no.
I'm the oldest of 4 kids,
Uh-huh.
but we were all kind of spaced out really wide except for my first sibling. So when I was 2, we adopted my sister Summer.
Okay.
And we got along really well for like the first 4 or 5 years, but when we hit like 8, 9, 10, we started to get really confrontational.
Oh.
And so we were taking karate at the rec center.
Oh my gosh, this literally, you're cheating on me right now.
A little bit, yeah. And we, it was like a small rec center karate, so like they couldn't do like, oh, this gender fight this gender.
Yeah.
It was integrated.
Yeah.
Which was interesting because my sister actually went on to do integrated wrestling at her high school because they didn't have enough girls who were interested, so she just wrestled the guys.
Yeah.
And she was great. She did judo as well for a while. My sister's cool.
Oh, then whoa.
She pursued martial arts a lot more fervently than I did later in life. But back when we were on equal levels of training, orange belts in Ishinryu karate at the Lando Lakes Rec Center.
I love this.
Oh yeah. We would put on our orange belts and our pads and like, you know, the whole point is like, oh, you're practicing the forms that you learn in an actual situation. But when you're just your sister and brother and you're in a rec center and you're wearing the pads, you just go nuts on each other.
You gotta. It's almost like it's required.
And our dad would be there, and like our sensei would be like, "Hey, enough." And then our dad would have to be like, "Guys, like you really gotta like practice the kick." Like, they showed you one kick, and they want to know that you know how to do it. Don't really try to like hit your sister.
You guys were like, this is fight time, Dad.
We were like, we literally have so much energy and nothing to do with it, and this is all of our tiny little like mammal brains can comprehend.
Wow, so you haven't had your destined battle, but maybe one day?
No, I fear it.
Oh,
She could come after me at any time, and I'd be like, no, I'm soft now.
She could show up during your cool club time and demand battle.
Yeah. Literally pull a stick out, and I'd be like, well, this round goes to you, sis.
Wow.
So that's my story. How about you?
I have a sibling, but I only have one of those.
Yeah.
I've got an older brother. I've talked about him before. Kevin.
Yeah. You know who you are.
You know who you are. My one brother, Kevin, who will not be named Kevin.
He will not be Kevin.
But we did like the opposite thing where like when we were younger, we were always like fighting all the time, Angie. But we never did like the same thing for a while. And so we didn't really have like rivalry in that sense because like my parents like signed us both up for gymnastics when we were small in order to like get us to do things, and then I stayed with it and he quit and he did soccer and like other sports and stuff. We ended up going to different like middle and high schools, and so we were in the same elementary school, but then once he started middle school I never like rejoined him. Like I didn't have that thing where I joined the middle school and then I went to a different school entirely. We were involved in similar but different hobbies. Like he did like band and marching band and stuff, and I did theater. And so we weren't really in like direct competition because like, you know, it wasn't like I was at a school where I had teachers who were like, I remember your brother. Many of them didn't know I had a sibling because we went to different schools. So there was like that. And then when we were younger, we fought all the time. And then there was kind of like the period of time where we like didn't know if we were supposed to still be fighting or be friends. And then he went away to college, and then I was like, oh no. I just realized how much I wish my brother was here, and he's not. Yeah, I remember the day that we moved him into college, I actually cried really hard, because it just kind of, like, hit me how normal it was for me to, like, have him around. Yeah. And, like, then he wasn't anymore, and I was like, no, wait a minute, I don't like that. And now that we're older and wiser. But I think also just, like, after that, like, weird, awkward period where, like, I didn't know if I was supposed to talk to his friends, so when they came over, I would just stay in my room. And I didn't know if, like, we were supposed to... If we were, like, I didn't know if we were supposed to stop bickering because, like, we bickered when we grew growing up. So there's no, like, rule book that's like, okay, and once you're 17, you don't do it anymore. And so, like, we kind of just, like, naturally figured out, like, oh, we don't have to. Good. Yeah, I remember there was one time he had some friends come home from college, and they were, like, you know, visiting for the weekend or whatever, and they came over, and I did the same thing I did in high school that was like, oh, Kevin's friends are here, I go in my room. And they were, like, knocking on my door later being like, what are you doing? Come hang out with us. And I was like, that's a thing? And they were like, yeah. And so, like, I went, played some board games with them. Oh. And now we're very good. We're good friends now, you know. Nice. He got married recently. Congrats. I say recently, it was, like, over a year ago. But, you know. Yeah. And he's got a cool wife, so I have a cool new sister, and I love her a lot, Kayla. And everything's kind of, like, great. So I guess I had, like, the opposite trajectory. Oh, cool. Than they did. Honey and Chica, I mean. I guess also, I'm not waiting for my brother to battle. It's been about a year since I've seen her. Yeah. Anyway, hi, Kevin and Kayla, if you're listening. Yeah. Hey, Summer, if you're listening. You know who you are. Yeah. Aw. But yeah, so Honey and Chica almost have a rivalry, kind of like in the literal way, where when they meet, they must fight. Yeah. It's like a rule. Like some families... They're like, oh, we play license plate bingo. Or we play I Spy on road trips. And they're like, no, if you see us in the kitchen grabbing a snack or on the way to the bathroom, don't care how bad you have to pee. It's on site. Throw hands first. On site. As soon as you see the figure of a family member, you must battle. Better yet, anytime you go anywhere, just close your eyes and start windmilling your arms so that you fight whoever you come across. You know how it is. It'll make you stronger, like you're playing Pokemon and you take every encounter in the tall grass. So we just immediately get this, like, Chica shows up and he's like, is Honey here? And Haruhi's like, yeah, this is the club that I'm in with Honey. Mm-hmm. Hold on. And then immediately a fight starts as soon as they lock eyes. Renge pops up to, you know, give the play-by-play. Like a very old school Naruto fight. And like all you gamer Naruto fans out there will understand what I mean when it's like, we watch the whole fight play out, and then we see what really happened. Yeah. Where Honey uses his Kage Shibari no Jutsu and throws the two little shuriken and pins his brother's feet to the ground. The scientific name. I'm just showing my street cred real quick when it comes to anime. I was 12 years old once. The Chunin exams, forget it. That's fair. When I was 12 years old, I was watching this. Oh, I love that. But yeah, we get a moment of like, did Chica win? And Mori's like, no. Yeah. Honey won. Completely unscathed. And then Honey's like, it's great to see you, bro. And then Chica's like, don't act like you don't know me at school. And it's like, so you came looking for your brother.
Yeah.
To tell him not to engage.
Don't come looking for me. Yeah. It's literally like, Honey's reaction to it kills me because he's having tea across the room from his brother in his cake. And his brother's like, yeah, my brother is really gross. And he eats cake and he's soft.
And I hate him.
And we are hard men. And Honey's like, yeah, cool, I guess. I wish my brother liked me, but I accept that he does not. Yeah, he's like trying not to be bothered about it. Yeah. It's really sad.
Yeah, this episode's kind of like the history of Honey. We learn a little bit about what he was like before the host club.
Yeah.
This whole like story of how he was small and cute looking, and therefore his family was like, you must be tough.
Yeah. It's very interesting, like, we've talked about the weight of these people's familial expectation with Kyoya having to, like, surpass his two older brothers who are already overachievers.
Yeah.
Honey's having to live up to a dynasty of, like, physical prowess, and he's shorter than me. So I can't imagine how he copes. But it's like, no, he's a fully realized person who likes sweets, but he felt like he had to be this way.
Yeah. So we get the story of, the sad story of Honey trying to be a cool man.
Yeah.
And
he can't.
He can't. No, the moral of the story is he can't.
Literally, he sits in front of a steak and just kind of looks disdainfully at it. And, like, you know, part of his brain is like, protein. The other part of his brain is like, I want that cake.
Yeah. But then enter Tamaki into his life, and we get a nice little, like, oh, the first meeting. Ooh.
Yeah, it's very interesting because Tamaki, like, speaks to the real Honey and not, like, the Honey who's, like, president of the karate club.
Yes.
And, like, trying to put on this tough, like, stern face. He has a bunny puppet, and he's just, like, guiding Honey out from the dojo.
Luring him out with the cute.
Bunny, yeah. And he's like, hey, you want to be my friend? You want to be cute?
You want to be in a club with me?
You look like someone who's trying not to be cute. And you're not doing a good job. Because I had a feeling this bunny would take you out of your dojo.
Why are you talking like that?
Like what?
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, and they actually have a really sweet little, like, heart-to-heart moment where Tamaki's like, where, you know, because Honey's coming from the perspective of, like, I have to be disciplined so I can prove my strength. And Tamaki's like, well, wouldn't true strength be, you know, being yourself?
Yeah.
And we're like, oh.
It was very interesting because, like, discipline as a concept is, like, denying yourself what you want for your own betterment. But the Tamaki philosophy is being like, yeah, but, you know, it's almost easier to deny yourself the things you want. It's harder to accept that you want those things.
Yeah.
And it was very, very cool because I love the moral of this story being that Honey knew what he wanted and felt like he couldn't be that and also be the strongest person in his family. Yeah. And he achieves both. Yeah. He literally can have his cake and eat it.
Yeah, he kicks his own dad's ass and then he gets to eat all the cake he wants and be very strong.
It's so good because he takes that input from Tamaki and he's like, Father, I need you to tell me the meaning of honk honk.
He had something to say. It's okay.
Yeah. The car is like, I love Oron. So Honey's dad is like, I will show you true strength. I'm going to fight you, child who is more than half my age, and I am going to wail on you.
Child who is less than half? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Honey's just really old.
I always forget which way the crocodile is supposed to face.
It's really the,
You want to eat the bigger number,
exactly,
I've heard.
Exactly.
Yeah, so Honey's dad goes, like, full beast mode on his son, and in less than a second, Honey destroys him.
Yeah, it's, like, immediately.
Yeah. He's already surpassed his family, and he is able to be the self that he truly is. He doesn't have to choose. He doesn't have to be cute or strong. It's like you can be both, and you should want to be all the things that you want to be. Yeah.
There's also a brief moment where they do reference him as a weapon of mass destruction. Yeah. Which is like, yeah, it's cool.
It's like one of the twins things where I squint at it and I'm like, are you guys, is this a bit? Which I feel like
Exactly.
If you were friends with the twins, you would often have to be is this a bit?
Is this a bit?
Mm-hmm.
That's what Haruhi does every single day. Guys, is this a bit?
Is this a bit, guys?
But then so it's interesting because there's that part of this story that feels like it's building up to this very, heartfelt kind of thing with Honey and Chika. Mm-hmm. But then we learn that Chika thinks that Honey is an alien. And that is where his issue stems from.
It's so funny because this is one of those times where Oron really gets my goat by being like, here's the standard plot line.
Yes.
And you look at it and you're like, oh yeah, he's overshadowed by Honey in every way.
Yeah.
He's not as cute. He's not as strong. He's not as old.
He's not as nice.
He's not as nice. Mm-hmm. They even have the direct contrast of him, like, not giving his karate team members a break, whereas Honey in the flashback literally does that.
Yeah. They say the same thing about each of them, but when it's Honey, it's like they're saying it because they're like, and Honey's like in the back being like, oh my god, yes, I did it. And they're like, Honey, you're so strong and mean, right? Yeah. And then with Chika, they're like, he's so mean.
I need to pee. So it's like Chika's got nothing, and the twins are like, yeah, actually we see where this arc is going, and we thought there would be a twist.
Yeah.
But there's not, so we're bored. We're
They're
gonna
like,
find
this is
better
kind of
toys.
lame. Sibling rivalry? Like, been there, done
us.
that.
Yeah.
Remember that episode where we fought? This isn't, y'all aren't special, okay?
Yeah, like, we did it first, Honey.
Yeah. But then Chika's like, he's an alien, and we're all like, huh?
Yeah, because apparently...
Oh.
Honey eats 3 cakes after every dinner.
Yep.
Light speed. And then on one night of the week, but he won't tell you which one.
No, you'll never know.
If you come to the dining hall on your way to go pee, and you pass by the door, there's a light on, you could see Honey eating 3 more cakes. And apparently, this is a thing that aliens do.
Yes, exactly. I mean, to be fair... That's a lot of cake.
Yeah, but like I say that every time I watch like a fun music video.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. But this all culminates in like the big final fight. They fight again, and we're foreshadowed this whole like, their way of communication is through fighting. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of like narrated by Mori being like, I know Honey better than anybody. And, it like he talks about how like one thing that you'll notice about these fights is that every single time Honey does a move in one fight, Chika does it in the next one. Mm-hmm. And it's all about how like Honey has noticed this and is giving him like the opportunity to practice those moves.
Yep.
And then he kind of is being like, but of course we all know how this will end. Honey will sacrifice the win because that's his way of like apologizing to his brother and connecting with him. And then Honey suplexes his brother and goes, I love cake!
Yeah. He's like, watch out! And then like kicks him to the moon and is just like, yay, now I will treat myself to 9 cakes a week.
Mori's world just shatters.
It's so great.
Poor boy.
Because Mori, even before the fight, looks at Honey and he's like, there's only one way this could end.
Yeah.
So he's like doing the big called shot. Yeah. He's pointing to the stands for the home run.
He literally says the line like, I know Honey more than anybody in the world.
Yeah.
And then Honey is just kind of like, cake is the most important thing.
Yeah. Like
screw family.
My relationship to my brother is fine when you think about it. Or when you don't. I don't know. Cake! Yay! His brain squishy like sponge cake.
Exactly.
Yeah. Also, his brother's bones squishy like sponge cake.
Exactly.
After being destroyed.
And I will say, there is not a lot of Haruhi in this episode. So even though there's no Haruhi, I say you get like a solid 70, 75 out of, maybe like a B, maybe like we'll give you like an 80
I feel
for
like,
no Haruhi episode prediction.
I feel like, this is minimal Haruhi.
Yes.
I should have guessed minimal Haruhi.
Minimal Haruhi. Yeah, that would have been the safer bet, but I understand you like to take risks.
I might go back and look at the footage and subtract Renge's screen time from Haruhi's total screen time.
I see.
See how much more she was in it than Renge.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting method. All right.
For science.
But yeah, so this is like, I guess just like big Honey episode. We kind of had one before with like the Honey, Mori toothache thing, but this one is like specifically about Honey, his history, and his family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is very interesting because being true to yourself is always like a plot point that resonates with me.
Yeah.
And it was interesting to think about that in the context of Honey and Chica's relationship, especially. Because it's like one of these people is definitely being true to themselves, and that doesn't mean the other one isn't. Like,
yeah,
Chica could be all about discipline and this.
Yeah.
And I even got the sense when he's like, my brother's an alien. Like, it's like a younger brother. It's like very little bro energy to be like, well, he's old, he's weird, he eats cake, and he hangs out with these friends, and he flirts.
You guys don't understand how much cake he eats. You don't live with him.
He sleeps with a bunny, and he brings it to school.
Yeah.
I don't want people to know we're related. Don't come around me.
Another character I really like in this episode, and I think you'll agree, is Tamaki.
Yeah.
This is a great moment for Tamaki.
Yeah.
Look at him.
I feel like this is the first of the flashbacks that we're going to get to like the actual recruitment. I feel like each character's, and this is not a prediction. I feel like each character is going to get an episode where we see their first like encounter with Tamaki trying to bring them into the club.
Yeah.
And we saw all these foreshadowed, I think, a couple episodes ago. So I'm very interested to see how that turns out because they did respect in the flashback. We see the bunny puppet, and then we see it again here.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is pure setup and payoff.
Yeah.
And we have to respect that for each of the characters.
If they don't give you the rest of them, like, they'll be unfair.
Oh, yeah.
I won't like it. I'll be upsetty.
Yeah.
Upsetty-getty.
Upset-a-geddon.
I did actually, for this episode in particular, want to talk a little bit about some of the differences in the manga because I think, overall, I really like this anime. I also really like the manga, but like this is I think a good example of an anime that does its manga justice. Even though it's not the full story, I think what it does cover it does really well. And generally, when they make changes, I've been like, I think they're cool. Like adding more Renge, that's fine. Like that's sick. This is actually one of the only episodes where I really am sad about the change they made, because he does not appear in the rest of the anime, so this is not a spoiler, but in this original manga episode, Mori's younger brother is there too.
What?
Yeah, he's got a younger brother named Satoshi.
Yo.
And like it's a whole thing where like Mori's brother and Honey's brothers are friends.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and it's like the two polar opposites because Honey's younger brother is like, I'm serious, and Mori's younger brother is like talkative puppy dog.
Aww.
And it's like the whole basically Chika comes in and like tries to fight his brother, and immediately you see this figure that kind of looks like a smaller Mori running in and just whacks him over the head and is like, you should respect your brother. What have I told you about running off?
Aww.
And then he sees Mori is like, Satoshi, and he's like, oh, big bro, hey, what's up, big bro? Did you see that? Yeah, like, no, not like that. Like, did you see that sick move I did? Like, are you proud of me? Yeah.
Very good.
And it also creates this really interesting dynamic that we don't get to see here, where Chika is given this side to his character that's like, he's tough and hard, but sometimes with Satoshi, he kind of like wavers a little and he's like weak. Like there are moments where like he comes in and he's just kind of like, what did I tell you about like, you know, causing a ruckus in a public place? And he kind of like starts to be like, why are you being mean to me? And then he's like, I mean, don't talk to me, brother. And he walks away.
Good.
So we get that fun kind of like, that hint that, like, you know, maybe he too isn't being true to himself, but he's young and he'll figure it out. And maybe what he needs to see is Honey being true to himself to really understand that. Yeah. And also, it's just like, there's even like a little panel where they line them up and then they're like, it's interesting. Mori's younger brother looks like a younger Mori. Honey's younger brother looks like an older Honey. And they're like in height order and it descends with the two younger brothers in the middle. Oh, it's so good and it's such like a nice dynamic and I really wish we had gotten to see it animated, but alas, I'll send you the chapters so you can check it out.
You know, it didn't occur to me, but like Honey's brother being in middle school and Honey being a senior means there's at least a 3-year age difference there. Which, like you were saying, like he'll figure it out, and Honey being a good role model. And I like that he doesn't waver and concede the fight. He literally is like, no, I'm gonna continue to be the strongest and the cutest. And like, you're gonna find your own way, and that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. So I think overall this episode is really good, but that is a dynamic that I really, really liked, and I wish we had gotten to see that full story. But I understand, because also in the manga it's a story that spans over 2 chapters, so probably they had to cut some stuff for time.
Gotcha.
But like, come on, Mori younger brother, smaller Mori, Mori but talkative, we love it.
Messy.
He's got like longer bangs. Oh, it's so good.
Oh,
He's so
cool.
good. But yeah, so I think we have, what is it? This was episode 18?
Yeah.
So we have, I made a mistake last time. I said 24 episodes. There's actually 26 episodes. I don't do my research. Very funny since I'm a grad student. But yeah, so we've only got 8 more episodes to go. So
Wow.
it's coming up.
Dang.
Coming up.
So for tropes this episode,
Yes.
I think I was having Naruto flashbacks earlier because we're deep in shonen country right now.
Absolutely.
Because the tropes we have are sibling rivalry, obviously.
Obviously. / envy.
Oh, yeah.
Because is it a rivalry for Honey? Or is it
It's always hand in hand.
Yeah.
And then we have challenging dad, which is
Yes.
very much glazed over, but like I think about this is, you could probably find this in every anime if you really look for it.
Yeah. It's one of those.
Oh yeah,
A
Hangul,
classic.
challenging dad.
Of course, the classic anime coffee prince.
Yeah. And then throwing the match subverted.
Yes, because it was throwing the match trope, obviously,
Yes.
and we really thought it was going to happen, but then it didn't. They love to do it to us.
It's really interesting the way that throwing the match trope came up. I could never. They made fun of the fact that it was like a straight episode.
Yeah.
The twins were like, "Oh, like no, we see where this is going," and they're like, "Just kidding. He thinks his brother's an alien, and also he does not hold back ever." And I'm like, good.
It's very funny. I feel like a lot of the time in the beginning of this series, we had the opposite, where it was kind of like, haha, funny, jokey trope, but then there was like a real meaning at the end. And this time we had like real kind of heartfelt, haha, funny, jokey.
Yeah.
Haha.
Yeah, it was aliens the whole time.
Got him.
You're not crying. Neither am I.
But yeah, a lot of I think the Shonen County is a great way to put it, because these are not typical like rom-com tropes. These are
actually
more typical of kind of like adventure, or maybe just like more typical like general tropes. None of these though are romantic show specific. So kind of fun. And I mean, I guess it makes sense because this wasn't a romantic episode. Like Haruhi had like 4 lines. Like, come on.
Yeah. Nobody was going to kiss, fall in love this time around.
Exactly.
Oh my god. I didn't think about this. I'm like, who's gonna kiss
Ooh,
in this show?
Who's gonna kiss?
When are they gonna touch lips?
Who's gonna
Oh, I'm excited for that, actually. There's only 8 episodes left. We're gonna get some kissing in there.
I know, there's gotta be some kissing.
Otherwise, the opening is lying.
Right? Speaking of what there's gotta be, Jaren, what do you did a pretty good job this time. So you're actually, you had a big loss last episode, obviously, but you've redeemed yourself, I feel. Because you got pretty good, pretty close. So what do you think is going to happen in episode 19?
I feel like if I were a showrunner and I was adapting a manga,
Okay.
I feel like we've had, except for Mori, everybody's had like an individual episode. Unless I'm misremembering. We had Kyoya, we had specifically Hikaru and Kaoru a couple times. We've had a couple Honey now if you count the Jungle Pool episode. We've had a couple Tamaki as well. And so it's either going to be, next episode is the Mori episode.
Ooh.
But I'm going to go further and say that our Mori episode is also our Mori flashback episode.
Oh, okay.
Because if I was running the show, it would be, we do Honey flashback, Mori flashback, Kyoya flashback, and then Twins flashback, and then Tamaki flashback.
Oh, so age descending.
And then that would put us in like episode 19, 20, 21, 22, like 23, and then we get our 3-episode sort of finale arc. We get like the episode of putting everything in place, and then we get the last 2.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's a lot of predictions. Can't wait to just be wrong.
Can't wait to destroy
And next
him.
one has no Haruhi.
Oh
yeah.
The next one has no Haruhi, and also it's proof that the Kyoya episode actually didn't happen, so there wasn't really a Kyoya episode.
It was aliens.
Got him.
They made me think that.
All right, fair enough. Also, really quick, speaking of age descending, just because I think that it's funny, I'm pretty sure in the anime they canonically are like, yes, Honey is the oldest. There is a very funny thing in the manga where she also, in the beginning, is like, yes, Honey is the oldest member. But then later she does, like, profiles and she gives them all zodiac signs. And Mori's zodiac accidentally puts him older than Honey. And she's like, oopsie, sorry, guys. I kind of messed up.
Love that.
Yeah. But I guess that's all we've got for you guys. So thank you so much for listening as always. We'll catch you in the next episode. Make sure that you take time to kiss, fall in love when you can. Kiss your loved ones. Of course, in your free time.
And fight your siblings.
Yes, always. I'm actually going to call mine right now.
Kick his ass.
Yep, right now. Again, meet us in the music room. Any music room. Yeah. We'll be there. Yeah. Alright, bye y'all. I love you. Bye. Till we meet again.
Let this be our last encounter.
Yeah.
Masaka. Bakana. Impossible.
Oh, God.